It's the grandson of Right Thought. Welcome to the School of Marvelous Light. Let's talk about the snare of sin and what it does to you. What are the effects of the snare? How to escape from the snare, and how to never be caught in the snare again. We know the scripture says that all men have fallen short and all have sinned. So in other words, all have been caught in that snare. And if a man says that he has not been caught in that snare or is not caught in that snare, then he's just a liar. Trying to make a liar out of the Father. That snare of sin catches you, obviously, because of some type of allurement, some type of idea of gain that you're going to get. You think you're going to get some type of gain, so you indulge in the sin. Now, those who are honest understand how that becomes a snare once you indulge. Once you indulge, the snare catches you and lifts you up upside down and got you caught. Now, what is that really in our life? That hanging upside down by that rope by your ankle. What is that really? It's when you're caught in the midst of your sin. When you keep going back to it because of that false sense of satisfaction you get. But you know deep down inside that the end thereof is death. You know it. And what do we mean when we say the end thereof is death? We're saying the feelings that you're going to have after you have that feeling of satisfaction or satiation is going to be death, regret, negative thoughts of yourself, which is death, vain thoughts of I am, which is death. That shame and that guilt and the remorse toward yourself, you see? It's not anyone else that has to shame you when you've gone against your own self. And that's the thing. In order for you to partake in that sin that snags you, you have to have gone against your own nature, your own conscience. And what is that? I think there's a rope there. So I think that may be dangerous for me to try to reach in there and grab that little snack. I think it might be dangerous, but I'm fast enough. I'm smart enough. I'm clever enough. I'll just do it this one time, and then next time I ain't gonna do it no more. Be rationale, because of that false satisfaction. That's what's got you rationaling like that. It takes a unique person to listen to this message today. It takes a person who, when they look in the mirror, they know what they're looking at. They don't paint it up and make a false image over it. This message is only for people who have accepted their nature, accepted who they are, accepted their downfall, took self-accountability for the things that they've done. There's no other way to come to the truth but through heartbreak and a broken heart. Heartbreak and a broken heart. That's the way that you come to the truth. And what has broken your heart? You have. It's not someone else that broke your heart. You broke your heart. As strange as that sounds, it's not someone else. And like I said, it's because you did something against your own nature. And that's when you know the thing clearly is sin, because the rational mind is trying to rationalize it because it still wants it. Do you see? Anyone who's struggled in a snare knows exactly what I'm talking about. You get up that morning and it's calling you. Come to me. Come on. Smoke me. Drink me. Snort me. Screw me. That's the voice. Whatever your hang up is, whatever it is, it's calling to you. And then you're going, okay, I know I shouldn't do that. See how your conscience starts working on you? Which proves that you're obviously not one of those people whose conscience is seared with a hot iron. Because you're actually feeling that. You're actually hearing that. You're going, wait a minute. I hear that internal voice telling me that I shouldn't do this. I feel I'm hiding to do it. That's another thing that tells you that what you're doing ain't right. Because guess what? He says those who live in the light, they do so that their deeds be made manifest to everybody. Now, that thing you doing that's got you in a snare, do you want that made manifest to everybody? You like, hell no. Well, then that proves that it's wrong. That proves that it's wrong. You're doing it in the darkness. So you may say you love the light, but you sure love the darkness because you love to do that little dark little deed that can't nobody see. Well, you got to decide which one you serve because you can't serve both. When you're feeling all good and everything, when you're doing that sin, you're doing it in the darkness, then you're proving that you love the darkness over the light. You're scared of the light. You're fearful of the light, saying, please don't expose this about me. You see? And that's what everybody in the world, the 3D world out there, that's what they're doing. Trying to paint up an image that they're perfect when they're just not. When they're just not. Everybody got that thing that when they do it, they feel like shit after doing it. But when they did it, they felt great. It felt exhilarating. It felt so exciting. It felt so freaking good. See? If it didn't, it wouldn't be attractive to you. It wouldn't be able to allure you. Like the squirrel that got caught by his ankle because he went down there and grabbed the little cracker that was in the snare there. The little acorn you had in there with the rope around it. That acorn brings him great satisfaction to eat that thing, man. That's why he's willing to risk it. You see what I'm trying to tell you? Same thing you're doing. That's why you're willing to risk it. Isn't that right? Because it feels so doggone good when that acorn sliding down your throat, going down to your gullet. Ah, how satisfying. I want another one. See, that's the thing. Now we're getting down to the details here at the School of Marvelous Light. That's the thing. It ain't never enough acorns, buddy. Because what you're trying to fill is a void of a bottomless pit. When the Most High says you're doing things to consume upon your lust, lust is a bottomless pit. So you're trying to consume things to fill up something that can't be filled. So how do you think you're going to act? You're going to act like a crackhead, for the lack of better words. You're going to be looking like a crackhead for something in this world. And then people look at crackheads and they look down on them and act like they're some type of low life or somebody to look down on. Well, you was a crackhead for something too, buddy. It may be work. You may be a workaholic. See how they put holic on there? Holic mean you're going too far. There's alcohol, but that nigga that go too far with the alcohol, we call that nigga a holic. Right? Well, the same thing with a workaholic and any other kind of holic. You see? They go too far with the thing because they can never feel it. That moment is filled, but then it goes away. Oh shit! I need to feel it again. I need to feel that feeling again. So you go back to it again, and 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 you never stop going back to it because you never get the itch scratched. You never get the void filled. Void can't be filled. That's why it's called void. Empty. Nothing. So it's not like you're putting the stuff into a bag. You're putting the stuff into nothing. So then where is it going? Into nothing. That's empty. That's death. Vanity. That's right. That's what you're doing. You're emptying out your life into something that's killing you and draining you, giving you the false sense that it's giving you some type of pleasure. He might as well, whatever that thing that's got you hooked to it, might as well be like an IV hooked into your arm. Every time you start waking up, hold on, wait a minute, what am I doing? I'm like a hamster on a wheel. As soon as you start thinking like that, they just inject you again. Inject that nigga with another dose of vanity and sanity. They just inject you again. Okay, you go right back to sleep again. Oh, I feel good, never mind. Oh, I feel so good. You see how the world's got all these distractions for you to think you're feeling good, to keep you from the fact that you're actually feeling miserable? Niggas have pain, chronic pain, and then they get prescribed pain medication and they get addicted to the shit. See? They become a pain med holic. That's the word of the day, y'all. Holic. As soon as somebody get on your nerves, you just be like, man, get your holic ass on somewhere, man. You ain't nothing but a holic. They're gonna be like, what? But y'all hear me today? Y'all hear this? This the truth. Caught in the snare, giving your attention to something that they've given you as a distraction that says that'll be satisfaction. The satisfaction distraction. Satisfaction distraction, all right? That's the phrase of the day. We got a word of the day and a phrase of the day. The phrase of the day is satisfaction distraction. That's what they're doing. And you know that's true. That's what I'm saying. You know your homeboy ain't lying to you. You know I'm being a true friend to you. You know I'm telling you the truth. It be some adultery shit. You know this woman got a man, but she just looks too good. See what I'm selling to you? The acorn. It looked like it's gonna satisfy you. You get all aroused. You say, I need this feeling satisfied. Well, it will never be filled, buddy. And you're gonna be thinking that it can. After you've been doing it for a while, your conscience starts wearing on you. Like, I gotta stop doing this shit. Okay, this time is the last time. This time is the last time I'm doing it. Then I'm cutting it off. Then you end up doing it again. You're crying and shit. What's all the crying and the tears? What's all the when you're driving home, you're talking all that shit inside your mind? You're struggling back and forth with how you feel about yourself. What's all that? That's the payment. That's the wage that they didn't tell you. The distraction satisfaction team didn't tell you. When they came with their little allurement, they didn't tell you that part. Oh yeah, man. Matter of fact, after you swallow it down and you feel all good, then you're gonna get sick as hell. You're gonna get real sick. And then you wonder why in the book of Revelation, there's a little book placed into a prophet's mouth, and he says, it's gonna be sweet as honey in your mouth, but it's gonna make your belly bitter. Bitter. And that's like you. See? That's how you're able to tell people the truth of sin. It's sweet in your mouth, but it's bitter to your belly. In other words, it tastes good while you're chewing it and everything, but once you swallow it, something else happens after the fact when you start digesting that shit. You ever ate some bad food and you be sitting there happy as hell when you sit at the table eating that shit? This is so good. Some spicy ass Thai food. You're like, this is so delicious. Man, I'm so glad we came here today. You eating that shit, happy as hell. You go home. You're like, hold on a minute. Bubbling, get the kicking up down there in that gut. You like, hold on, wait. Wait a second. Was that good? Or was that some bad food? Cause my stomach feeling kind of funny. Gotta hit that toilet. Gotta get it up out of there. You see what I'm saying to you? That's sin. Oh, you're chewing it. It's so sweet, just like honey. And that's what gets you. The sin Whatever the thing for you that will have you seeing stars and shit when you partake of it, because it's different for every person. But whatever it is for you, that feeling of having those stars, that's after you have resisted it for a while. You've been resisting that temptation. You're like, oh, I'm not going to give it. I'm not going to do it. It's wrong. It's wrong. That's why you resist, because you know it ain't right. But then you do it. It's just like a child. When you say, hey, you come home with a pack of cookies, you take them out and put them in a cookie jar. Your kid saw you put them in there. So he's looking. Now, when you go to walk out the kitchen, he starts walking toward the cookie jar. You say, no, no, no. I didn't put them in there just so you can start eating some. He's looking. He's like, but it's right there. I can reach it. Why are you telling me no? Well, it's the same thing with you. The parent walks out. The kid's looking at the cookie jar going, okay, he said don't have it, but damn, I can taste that shit trenching into the chocolate chips and shit. I can just taste it. I want it too bad. I know mommy said no, but she ain't in here. I gotta try it. Now you eat the cookie. Now watch. Oh, it is so good while you're eating it. You're looking over your shoulder the whole time. You're munching it. Oh my God. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. All of a sudden you hear some steps coming down that damn hallway. Clickety, 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 click on your ass. You're like, oh shit. Okay, you put the rest of the cookie back in the jar, put the cap back on. You're standing there like a damn soldier and shit at West Point. Standing there and shit at attention. Your mama like, hey, you wouldn't happen to have been eating those cookies I told you not to eat, were ya? Here comes the bitter in the belly part. You're cussing out the cookie and shit now. Here comes the whooping. You're like, oh, fuck, you stupid ass cookie. Why'd you entice me like this? It's your fault. It's your fault I'm getting a whooping. No, it ain't the cookie fault. It's your fault. You thought you wasn't going to get no cookie and you couldn't wait for your cookie that your mama would have just put in your hand, that you could have just ate, and then you wouldn't have had no bitter feeling after the fact. You could have had chocolate all around your mouth, all in your teeth and everything. And your mom would have said, was it good? What a difference. What a different reaction other than you didn't eat no cookies. No, Mom, I didn't. What's the chocolate chip ahoy shit all around your mouth then? That's all, folks. Here come the belt. Y'all know that what I'm telling you is true. You know it. That's you. You're that kid twiddling your thumbs around looking at the cookie jar. When you're looking at that married woman. When you're looking at that crack pipe. When you're looking at that Hennessy. When you're looking at that report that needs to be done. When you still got a family that never sees your ass. It's everywhere. And everybody's judging each other for their snare. Nigga is hanging up by a snare, by his ankle, pointing at another bird in a snare, laughing at him. Look at you. You're caught in a snare, you dummy. Look at you, you're lowlife. What a loser. But he's caught in a snare his damn self. What a hypocritos cucaracha. That's what that is. Instead of just keeping it real with all the birds in the yard, saying, hey, y'all, this is some bullshit, ain't it? This honey in the mouth, bitter to the belly shit is no fun. And the other birds, some of those birds are just going flying by, or can't say they're flying because they're caught in a snare. They're just sitting there going, this guy's just talking shit, but yet he ain't got no snare on his ankle. They're like, why don't you fly away? He's like, because you guys are stuck here. Woo! Can you hear that shit there? I flew away, but as I was flying away, I realized I got a lot of my brothers and sisters that's still stuck. So I can't have that. Just because I'm free, I feel good and free. No, I got to fly back and go back and set my brothers and sisters free. And the whole time I'm setting them free, I have to consider all the stages I went through when I hung from that snare. When a nigga said, hey man, let me help you get loose. No, I'm good. I'm clean. I'm righteous. I read my Bible and I pray. I don't need any help from anyone else. Okay. So then when people do it to me, in other words, I don't trip. I don't stress about it. I don't get all mad. I be like, I understand. That's what I used to do. I used to act like I didn't need no help. I used to act like I wasn't in no snare. That's what people do when they're covering up their sin. They go to work. They have pictures of their family on their desk, but they're cheating with their coworker. All they do is turn the pictures around when their coworker comes in so they can screw. And then they turn the pictures back around when that coworker leaves. And they go, yeah, I'm righteous. Shit. I'm clean. No, 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 you're not. You just look like you is. Just like Christ said. Y'all like decorating the outside. See, when the outside is beautiful, watch this, y'all. When the outside is beautiful, do you have to decorate it up to be beautiful? Or is it just beautiful? You see Eastern women, they don't be having on no makeup. They be living tribal, living out there, and you see them, they don't have any makeup or anything on, and they're beautiful. But then you come to the West and you see a woman all made up. She's got plastic surgery, tit implants, got ab implants, hip implants, booty implants, lip implants, Botox. She's beautiful. Okay. All right. That's what you think beauty is. It's painting it up on the outside to appear beautiful. But that's what you have to do. When it's ugly, see how that working out. When it's ugly, you got to paint it. You ain't got to paint nothing when it's beautiful. You just leave it alone. You see that? But that's the world you're living in, man. But people deny this thing that we talking about over here at the School of Marvelous Light today. Now, wait a minute, man. Of course it's going to make me see stars and birds when I partake of it. That's what catches me. That's what hooks me. It's the stars and birds moment. Okay? So that's the honey in the mouth. But the belly being bitter, it's hard to say that for some reason. The belly being bitter is the part that I have to always consider. I don't know why I just want to just do that. I guess because it's our nature as kids. Our parents say, don't eat up all the ice cream. We do anyway, and then we get sick. When you was a kid, you went Halloween trick-or-treating and shit. You came back, you had a pillowcase full of candy. Your parents was like, now give me that damn pillowcase. You're like, but it's mine. It's yours. You're like, I went and trick-or-treated for the shit, stood in the cold and everything. Your parents are like, no, I'm divvying this out to you. You can't eat all this in one night. You're going to be sick. Your teeth going to fall out. It's going to be sweet in your mouth when you eating all that candy, but it's going to be bitter to your body, to your health, to your well-being. That's what to the belly means. To your well-being. It's still from you. When you did something and you was being sneaky and conniving when you did it, that's the I am that you took on. Well, you're putting that funk off when you secretly think that of yourself. Damn, I'm sneaky as hell doing this shit. I'm sneaking around and shit, hiding and shit, doing shit. I'm lying to this man's face, talking about I don't know his wife. I do know her. I'm lying to hell. When you start thinking thoughts like that, you put a funk off. You put stank off. It's called death. Start smelling like death. Yeah, that's what it is. But when you're living pure-hearted with a clear conscience, see? No, I've learned, I've grown up, I've put childish things away, like Paul said. I used to eat up a whole bunch of candy till I got sick, but I learned that was actually good for me. That's not actually what's good for me. It's just junk food. Now, I could be eating some food that's going to give me health and bring me health. Well, how about I just do that? Because before I end this message, Abba says, when he gives a gift, he adds no sorrow with it. Hear that, little flock? So then he don't add no bitter belly when he give you something sweet. That's what he's saying. So accept the things that he has for you and stop accepting the things that go against your own conscience. Because that satisfaction you're looking for doesn't come with any bitterness if you did the thing Abba asked of you to do. So you're like, damn, I want to do this sin today. I really want to do it. Okay, let me take that energy and go do something that helps my neighbor. And then you do it. It took you a little minute, which is a simple little thing. Maybe you help somebody carry something, or held something for somebody, or paid for something for somebody. Just a small act of kindness. But when you did that, you felt the feeling. See, you ate it. Ooh, that's good. And I don't feel fucked up. I don't have no bitter belly. Wow, this is better eating. Yep. Now you understand the dietary law as well. We'll be back with some more later. Got to take care of some business and do some good works. Still want Mr. Dialogue.